is the continuing story of Peyton Place. Starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Mia Farrow as Allison Mackenzie, Ryan O'Neill as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Conley as Norman Harrington.
This morning, bail was set in the Joe Chernak murder case. And for the moment, Rodney Harrington has been given his freedom. Freedom to visit a darkened room in Doctor's Hospital, where Allison Mackenzie lies in a coma.
Would you like to go for a cup of coffee?
All right.
Come on.
When I was a kid, it was milk or juice. My mother used to say, drink it. Make you feel better.
Things were simple.
Yeah. It's too bad, all the things you saved to say. You let slip by.
Rodney, people do come out of these things.
And if she does, Betty? What if she does?
Come here, I want you to talk to someone. Excuse me. This is Rodney Harrington, Russ Gary. Rodney's a friend of Allison Mackenzie's.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Garing's a physical therapist. I thought that Rodney should talk to you.
To me?
Can you tell him some of the things you're able to do with people when they come out of accidents?
Well, I'm not the one to discuss this with. You should talk to a doctor.
Oh, well, I just thought that,
Look, in cases like this, the important thing is not to anticipate. Anything can happen. Unexpected. Sometimes very good things.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
well, I guess that didn't settle things, did it?
It helped. You know, I really don't want this.
When can I talk to you, Marian? It's important.
There's nothing you can say to me that would be important.
Will you be in therapy today?
No, I'm asking for a transfer to another ward.
That's what I was afraid of. You shouldn't. You're good with the children.
I don't want to see you again.
Wait! Look, you owe it to me. We've got to talk.
What about?
What do you mean, what about?
All right. When do you finish in therapy?
Not for a couple of hours.
I'll wait for you in the therapy room.
All right.
There's a letter from Matt.
Oh? Where's he now?
He's in India.
You know, we really should write him. About Alice.
Well, there's nothing he can do except worry. There's enough of us doing that now.
Still, he'd want to know.
Don't you want to read the letter?
No, later, I have to straighten up. Hello? Oh, yes, I will. Yes, Charlie, I will. That was Charlie. Press conference of John Fowler's in 20 minutes.
Oh, I have to go, dear. Come on upstairs with me while I change.
You know why we've gotten together, and we have to finalize our strategy. Rodney, don't let the thought of the hearing frighten you. You won't even have to take the stand.
What?
We prefer that you don't testify at the hearing.
But I thought...
Rod, give him a chance to explain. You have to trust me, Rodney. We didn't arrive at this decision easily. Stephen and I weighed all the pros and cons.
What are they?
To tell you, I'd have to go into various legal technicalities.
Then go into them, Ted. I'm not at all sold on this myself.
If we put him on the stand, Leslie, we're risking intensive interrogation on his statement.
Why? It's all there in black and white.
Yes, but they'd cross-examine you on every detail, every point. Let me tell you, I know John Fowler. He's an astute examiner.
Rod's a bright boy. He can handle him. And he has nothing to hide.
And afterwards, Fowler would have a transcript of the hearing. He'd study it closely. He'd check everything Rod said with his original statement.
I'm not going to change my story.
Rodney, you don't have to change it. Just omit one detail or add another, and they can trap you.
Rodney, the law is a complex institution.
I'm so sick of all of these explanations and instructions. Move the trial. Keep your mouth shut. Don't worry, Rodney. Leave everything to us.
It's good advice.
Yeah, and it's your strategy, and it's a swell one, but it doesn't work for me. Look, I want to get up there and I want to explain what happened, period. That's all there is to it.
And then what?
And then I'll rest my case.
You do that. And the next time you stand, it may be in front of the judge for your sentence. You'll give Fowler his victory on a silver platter.
That's overstating a little, don't you think, Stephen?
I'm sorry, sir, I don't think so. I think it's very important for Rod to see the danger and know it exists. Now, Fowler's pretty sure he has a case or there wouldn't even be a hearing. If you testify, you're only going to give away our defense. That's all you'll accomplish.
When you say our defense, Stephen, are you counting on this going to trial?
We're not afraid of a trial, Mr. Harrington.
Did it ever occur to any of you that if I took the stand, they may find me innocent?
Yes, it occurred to us, Rod. And it also occurred to us that if they didn't, you'd be guaranteeing that they could reopen the case whenever they wanted to.
What about double jeopardy?
Unfortunately, Leslie, it doesn't apply here. It only applies where there's been a jury decision.
Then it's your strategy that I stand trial.
Our strategy, that's an awful fancy word for something as simple, is that if you keep your mouth shut, you can't put your foot in it. As for the trial, if it comes to that, Fowler will be trying to prove intent to murder, and so will we. Only we're going to prove it about Chernock. Now, Chernock had a grudge against you because of Rita and Norman. And with a guy like Chernock, a grudge can be plenty of motive for murder.
Except he didn't kill me.
We think we can show that Joe Chernock has to share in the responsibility for his own death.
Do you go along with this?
I don't know enough not to, and neither do you, son.
You wouldn't advise Dr. Rossi on Allison's treatment. Law is a field for experts, just as much as medicine.
And ignoring their advice, Rod, can be just as fatal.